Hi, it's Chris here from Inviting Thoughts, and I'm doing my first tutorial today on a passbook journal. Okay, so I'll get everything together and then we'll start making it. Okay, so today I'm using some Magnolia Jane paper from Heidi Swapp. I'm also using some Heidi Swapp tags and some file covers from the same range that are going to make up the journal covers. I've also got a binding, that's a 3/4 inch binding that'll be being used rather than the standard binding suggested by the journal die. The journal die I'm using is the Eileen Sizzix passbook journal die. Okay, and that's the die there, and here you can cut 2 covers there, that's the cover, so you cut 2 of those, the binding, which you would cut 1 of, and this part here is the pages, and it has a crease line in the middle and 2 holes there. The binding also has holes that correlate with the pages, so you can actually do smaller signatures and sew them into the binding, or use elastics to sew them or bind them as well. I'm going to be doing the coil and show you how that's done today. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the paper down to the correct size for the die, and it's 12-inch paper. It's just normal scrapbook cardstock. It's of a fairly high quality and thickness, and I'm just going to cut that through about 4 layers at a time on my cutting board, and then I'll go from there. Now I've cut that already, so that's ready to go for the pages, and so that'll fit perfectly on the die, and I don't want to waste it all, so I'm going to cut it to the end of the use this as a template for the rest. Just make sure that matches up before I cut the rest. Yep, perfectly. And so I've got that much left over for another project or to do internally in these. So get a few at a time. Do that. I'll cut the rest and then come back to you. Okay, so I've cut out all the paper, and what we're going to do now is put it on the big shot. So we put the cutting plate down first, that's the clear plastic plate, the die on top, 2 pieces of the cardstock, and the other cutting plate on top. We just run that through the machine. That cracking noise is normal, it just means that it's going through the actual die. Okay, so that's what we end up with, is some pages. I actually had more than that there, it's 3 pages there. Okay, oh that's good to know. Okay, so that's that. So what I'll do is I'll cut the rest, and then I'll come back with all the pieces cut, also cut the covers as well, and I'll come back with all the components. Okay, so I've cut the paper, so I've got the pages now, and all I've done is just folded them over. Okay, the file cover I cut down for the covers, so that'll be the front cover, that'll be the back. I'll actually do it that way. Actually, no, I'll do it that way. And the binding, cut as well. So it's double-sided, the paper, and I'm just going to use that side as a contrast. And so that'll go like that, and the pages will go inside like that. So it'll be a nice little booklet, and I've got some tabs that I'll put in as well. I'll just cut those down and then we'll start binding the book. Okay, so I've cut the tags, just the ends of the tags, so that when I put them in the cover, they'll just stick out a little bit. Okay, so I want them to stick out a little bit between the pages. So now it's just a matter of organising the pages. Now if you don't have a die, you can still make the book by cutting out the shapes yourself, or similar shapes yourself. So that's one of the things that you can do. So if you don't have this, you just cut out the shapes to the size you want. Use a corner rounder to round your corners. Make the pages just a little bit smaller. See, if I turn that over there, you'll see the size. So just a little bit smaller than the book itself, so you've got room. And then the tags are just a little bit shorter than the cover there. Okay, so they'll stick out like so, just a little bit at the top there. Okay, now you can put the pages in one of two ways. You can do it this way as a double page, like that, or you can do it this way and use it as a single page, as 2 pages, and that way you can use it as for notes and things like that. And then you can go back and decorate and put photos on the pattern pages, and write or journal on the plain pages, that's what I'll be doing. Okay, so I'm just going to glue the covers together. The back on first. Just using my hot glue gun. I'm using a precision glue gun with a precision tip. It just works really well. The precision tips gives you more control over what you're doing on finer projects. Okay. Okay. That's that way, so I've got it the right way up. And this one will be that way. So I'm going to turn that around, make sure I get it right. Okay. Oops, that dried too fast. Wasn't fast enough. Happens all the time. Just peel that off and start again. Okay. I don't think the glue gun's hot enough. We got it. Okay, so that's the cover done, and you can see the front cover there and the back cover, and when I do the pages they will slip inside, and I'll arrange the tags between the pages. Now I'll bring my cinch over. Now I've got the one with the square holes. I just like being different. no particular reason why. Okay, so yeah, it's just because I like being, different. So now to do the tags, I'm just going to put them in against there, pull out No, that should be fine. Pull out that last one because we don't want to do that. And press. There we go, that's done. I might pull out the one before it. Oh no, because it'll need to go around it anyway. So there we go. So don't need to pull out any tags, any tabs. Okay, so the tags are cut. The tags are single-sided, but we're only using them as for dividers and texture. Okay, now for the pages, I'll do 3 at a time. And I'll pull out tab number 6. Oh no, sorry, number 8. Sorry, I didn't have the ruler down, so I've messed up a couple of pages there. So we put that there, put that in there. Let me see. Let me do more of these just to see. No, that's perfect. Okay, so don't need to pull out any tabs because it lines up perfectly. So I've messed up a couple of pages in the beginning, but that's okay. Oh, got that tab pulled out. Okay, one hole, so that's fine. That's better. It's all learn by error. As I said, this is the first time I've done it. First time I'm doing it for me is the first time that I'm doing it for you guys as well. There we go. Sometimes they stick. Okay, and I'll just do this lot of pages again to get it lined up right way. Okay, so that's the pages for the book. Now for the back cover, what we're going to do is we're going to bind that so that the binding wire is actually going to be hidden away from and not come through. It's actually going to be covered by that. Okay, so we're doing the back part. Okay, there we go. So that's done that. Okay, so that's the back part of the so when the wire's in there, it's actually going to be hidden. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to put it together. So you're going to put the wire over the wire section. And this is just where we work out where you want your pages to go. So I'm just going to I think I might do that one at the back. I want to mix them up a bit. So you want to Oops, I keep forgetting the tags, don't I? Where do I put the tags? Here. Because I've got tags as well, so I might. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 pages and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tags or 8 tags. So one tag every 2 pages. Okay, so if we go start there, and do that one. Oh, actually, I do tags again because I've forgotten the bottom parts of them. That's my fault. Okay. So I'm just going to keep assembling the book. Then when I'm ready to bind it, I'll get back. I'll show you the rest. Okay, so we've got all the pages in the book now. Okay, and so what we're going to do is put on the back cover, or the cover. And so we do that from this is the front of the cover. So what we do is we turn it inside out and do the back, because we want the back to fold over to the front. So we actually put that on there. Okay, and then we can take the wires off. Okay, and cut that. And I can use that wire for another project. Okay, and then once you turn it around, I make sure it's set up for the 3/4. Make sure both the bottom wires and the top wires are leaning against each other and are both up against the back board of that, and then press that down and you've got a perfect seal. Then you fold the cover over and then you've got your journal or your journal book with your hidden wires. So when you open it up, the wires are inside. Okay, so that's Traveller's Journal using the cinch method the wire binding method instead of the elastics or sewing the signatures in. Okay, so that's just another idea of another way of binding it. And I'm sure everybody will have their own method of doing that, okay? Thank you very much. You have a good day. Bye-bye.